Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. The thing about narcissists involved in your life is they overplay their hand. They overplay their hand. And the thing is an empath can tolerate a lot. A chosen one can tolerate a lot, right? But when it comes to a narcissist involved in their life and the narcissist, initiating this abuse, initiating this torment, projecting their insecurities, you see, prior to awakening, there was probably a small window, even when you were going through the abuse, that you still desired for the narcissist to be in your life. You still wanted them as a part of your life. You were probably still asleep to some degree. You might have woken up a bit, but there was a period of time that you still wanted them. But the thing is that narcissists overplay their hand. Okay? When it comes to them doing a discard and silent treatment, or reverse discards and silent treatment, and, pushing you away, right? They overplay it, All of the abuse they overplay. Even if you were the one that cut the narcissist off and they were becoming too toxic at the time, you see, they overplayed all of their strategies. Okay, and what this does for a chosen one empath is it gives them time to analyze and reflect and literally see the situation for what it is. You see, you got to understand one thing. Regardless of how the relationship ended between you and the narcissist involved in your life, whether it was a discard, they don't want to let you go. They think they own you, right? They think they own you. Where, there could have been considerable amount of time and space between yourselves. They still, think they own you, especially if you're in a place of hurt and stuff like that. They think they've got a way back in. Same with the reverse discard. They think they've got a way back in. Even if you cut the narcissist off, they think that they can withdraw and they've still got a way back in, for example. But what happens to the chosen one empath through this abuse that they receive from the narcissist is, when the narcissist overplays their hand a bit too much, it provides the empath a chance to analyze what's going on and see what's going on. And the empath and the chosen one will come to the decision that they no longer want this person in their life. They no longer want anything to do with them at all. This will happen for you. If it hasn't happened for you already, it will happen for you. It's naturally going to happen. You're going to hit this point. There's only so much a chosen one empath can take, right? Empaths will give you the benefit of the doubt. They'll pay you respect. They'll give you the benefit of the doubt sometimes. Empaths and chosen ones can take a lot. You know what I'm saying? But once they start analyzing and seeing things like that you're a liar, that you're a deceiver, that you're a manipulator, that you're a gaslighter, and all of these things start piling up, that the narcissist is playing a game with silent treatment, that the narcissist is, playing hot and cold, that the narcissist is doing all this manipulation tactics. This gives the empath and the chosen one a chance to really understand what's going on, and they get clarity from this. Despite the abuse that they've gone through, you as the chosen one empath will get clarity from this. This will be your closure, it will be your closure, and you don't desire the narcissist back any longer. You don't want nothing to do with them. And you start to focus on your healing, focus on moving forward, and the narcissist is so pissed, you see, because even if they've discarded you, they haven't let go, Do you know how many people I've spoken to that have been put through a discard and they've had crucial signs that the narcissist is spying on them, or the narcissist is cyber stalking them, or they're doing these types of things, this is what happens, right? Even if you were discarded or reverse discarded, you know, if you cut the narcissist off, same rules apply. They watch you from a distance. They'll cyber stalk you. They'll do these things. They'll try and find out information about you, whether you were discarded, reverse discarded, or you cut them off because they become too toxic. They'll try and find information out about you. They never let go. They can't let go because you was a supply source to them. You know, you was a supply source to them. You was their sustenance and their fuel supply. You see, so they can never let you go. You know, just like an engine always needs fuel, they can never let you go. And plus, it's a bit different from an engine needing fuel because, you know, you could go to any petrol station and get fuel, right? But with them, they're conditioned to the fuel supply that you gave them. You see, so once they come to an understanding that you no longer desire them, you no longer want them, you no longer want nothing to do with them, you're literally focusing on your healing and you're getting on with your life. You know, they hate it. They hate that you don't want them back. They hate that you don't want them back. And this is what I'm saying. They're so deluded. They could have been the one that initiated the discard or the reverse discard. And when the victim, the chosen one, an empath, like, reaches a place, like, they get over the initial desiring the narcissist, wanting the narcissist back. They get over that initial period, right? And they start to analyze and they just think, you know what, this person's a waste of space, you know, and they take it in their stride. They start, you know, aiming for self-improvement, you know, ascending, developing, evolving, you know, really healing. You know, the narcissist is frustrated and pissed. They're just stupid, you know, and they're the one that initiated a discard or a reverse discard. And they can't come to terms with it because you have to understand that everything was a game for them. You know, even if you were the one that cut the narcissist off, you know, they were playing a game with you. They wanted to see how far they could push you, how much they could provoke you, how much you're going to take, how much you're going to put up with their BS. You know, they were pushing you and pushing you and pushing you to your limit till one day you snapped and said that you cut them off, right? And then even when you've done that, you know, in their minds at the beginning anyway, they thought, yeah, okay, you know, it was just, they'll do this, or they'll do a bit manipulation, or they'll do something like this, and they'll get back in your lives. You know, the thing about these narcissists is they can't accept when you don't want them. They've got an inflated sense of self, right? They have an inflated sense of self, and it's a real knock. It's a real narcissistic injury when you don't want them. You know, and the thing about these narcissists is they play the quiet game. They play like, you know, they're paying you no attention. They play this quiet game, but they watch from a distance. You know, I've heard from many victims of narcissistic abuse. You know, I've spoken to many victims of narcissistic abuse. These narcissists do keep watch on you. You know, social media, in person, through the grapevine, through people that you know. You know, and even if you say you're not on social media, or there's no one in they're not doing it in person, or there's no one that they can talk to find out information, and that's driving them wild. You know, you've cut them off from all angles. You know, that's driving them wild and insane. You know what I'm saying? That's driving them wild because they've got no outlet to looking at your life. You see, they've got no outlet to looking at your life. But, you know, like I said, there was a time and a place that possibly if you were discarded or reverse discarded, if the narcissist hoovered sooner, you know, it's possible that you might have accepted that hoover. But this is the thing about they overplay their hand. When they do these narcissistic tactics, they overplay it. You know, and it runs them into the ground. You know, it gives the chosen one and the empath a time and space to really analyze what's happened. You know, to really interpret what's happened, start to see between the lines, analyze everything, and it makes the chosen one, the empath, detach, even detach from the hurtful pain that they went through, detach from it all completely, you know, and taking it in their stride. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. Take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video showed up for you, help it show up for someone else in the community that it may be of benefit to. Thank you so much. But it gives the chosen one, an empath, that time apart. You see, you will start thinking. You'll start thinking more clearly. You know, for those of you that are in a position of hurt or in a position of pain, that are like just in a moment, or even if some time's passed and you're still in a position of pain, you know, you got to start thinking outside the box. Like, for example, the hurt you've been through, you know, the pain you've been through, you've got to stop looking at them, you know, as a human being. You know, if they've discarded you or reverse discarded you, you've got to stop looking at them. Or even if they would become so abusive and you had to cut them off, you've got to stop looking at them from a human perspective. You know, they are devils. You know, they are demons. They are negative energy. They're negative frequency, whatever you want to call it. They're that low vibrational creature, you know, that likes to inflict pain and misery and has sadistic pleasures. They like doing this to you. So you can't stay in a position of hurt and upset and thinking, oh, they done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, you know what I'm saying, all to you. You know, you can't, like, you can reflect about that. You can embrace the fact they've done that to you. You can interpret the fact that they've done that to you. But you need to know that it's coming from a position of them being fucking dusty weirdos. You know, complete deranged, disgusting creatures. You know, it's nothing to do with you. You know, they haven't done this because you're valueless. They haven't done this, you know, to be anything, to be honest, to be quite precise, you know, they actually tried to inflict more damage upon people they deem as having value. You see, because it's more of an incentive to break someone. You see, if they know you've got self-esteem, you know, you're relatively high value, they'll want to try and bring you down. You know, they see it as a plan to bring you down, you know. So if you don't let them bring you down, you can embrace all of the pain you went through. You can go through your healing, you know. But you have to come to a place in your mind for the spiritual realm of no longer desiring them back. They'll feel it. You know, you'd be hitting up their phone. If you wanted them back, you'd be hitting up their phone. You'd be contacting them on social media. You'd be finding some way to contact them. You know, you'd be finding some sort of way, right? You'd be turning up at their house. There's always a way, you know, regardless of whatever they've put in place. There's always a way that you could reach out to them, and you're not, right? They're pissed. You see, they expected you to be chasing after them, to be pursuing them, to be, you know, this is what they expected for you to be doing, you know, regardless if you were even the one that cut them off. They expected you to come back crawling, begging for them back. If they discarded you or reverse discarded you, they expected you to keep chasing after them and pursuing them and hunting them down, you know. And you've got to the place now that you no longer desire them. Even if there was a brief window period, you know, where they actually had you. This is the thing. The narcissist actually probably had collectively all of the empaths at a precise time for a moment. For a moment. They had the chosen one and the empaths for a moment, you know, off their path, vulnerable, willing to accept a Hoover, willing to re-engage, willing to reconcile, but they overplay their hand and they leave them too long. And that distance is actually the time, the space, the distance is a crucial component and a beautiful thing that is your chance to really take it in your stride and go go in the right direction. You know, it's actually them overplaying their hand. You see, you know, for example, they discarded you, you know, they're overplaying the discard, or they're overplaying the reverse discard, or they're overplaying, you know, waiting for you to come beg for them back. You know, they're overplaying all of their hands. And this is the actual component that leads the chosen one and empath to get on the healing path. You see? And now you don't want them back. They hate it. They're frustrated. They feel inferior. They always felt inferior, but now now it's real. You know, beneath the core of them, you know, they've got a fragile sense of self anyway. They've always had that, but now it's a reality. Now they really feel inferior. You know, they're no longer wanted by you. You know, this is the way you need to play it. You know, you need to become that person in their life that they can never get with ever again, no matter what they do. No matter what they do, they've got more chance with anyone else in the world than they have with you. That's the position that you need to play in this life of the narcissist that was involved in your life. You know, they could, like I always say, they could DM 1,000 celebrities, right? Or Hollywood stars. And there's more chance that they could go on a date with one of those Hollywood stars than there is if they messaged you or contacted you or turned up at your house. There's more chance of them, you know, getting some kind of reaction, positive reaction from one of these so-called celebrities or whatever, right? They probably have so many people DMing them every day of their lives, right? You know, this is who you need to be, right? So, you no longer wanting them back is part of your healing journey, you know? Working on that, taking it in your stride more and more, growing more and more disgust for them. This will happen through your healing journey. You might feel you don't want them back now, right? You might feel that you don't want them back now. But let me tell you, just like I said about that distance and that space they gave you to, which initiated you to even get to this point you're at now, not through them, not through their choice, but through the grace of God or the universe that enabled it this way, or karma. You see that space, that window period I talked about, that actually transitioned you from perhaps being vulnerable to a Hoover or getting lured back in a relationship to the place where you actually don't want them back. Imagine that across a period of time, right? And it's not that time heals. I always say time don't heal. Through time you learn how to deal with it. But when you multiply that perspective that you have now of not wanting them back, and you put it across 6 months, a year onwards, right? You get so much stronger. You start to see how life's working out for you. This pisses them off. This irritates them, because you start walking into blessings. Life starts working out in your favor. You start elevating in your craft. You start elevating in your job. You know, you start getting more focused. You start saving more money. You start thinking of plans. You start thinking of different strategies. Everything comes into fruition, right? And it's literally, you realize that this person was a waste of time. You know, it was a waste of energy. You know, it was literally a waste of your time and effort and energy. You know, finances, everything. It was a complete waste of time. And you'll realize that when you're separate from them and you're away from them, you're more focused, you're more determined. They are making you lazy, you know, and you really start to improve your life. Life really starts to open up for you for brighter days, you know. So please, if any of you are at the initial period, or you're still in a place of hurt even after a considerable amount of time, please use what I've said in this video, right? You don't need to look at, you know, what's happened to you from that perspective. you need to look at it like it's expected from them. You know, you're expected to be treated with abuse from an abuser. They are an abuser. They are parasites. They are dusty weirdos. They are devils, demons, negative frequency, negative energy. You know, they are bad seeds. You know, it's expected. You know, it's more expected for them to be doing this type of behavior like they've done the narcissistic abuse. It's expected of them. You know, so you can't look at it from a position, like I said earlier on in the segment, like they're human. You know, you can't look at them like they're human. You know, if someone that was on the same page as you, that, you know, connected with you the same way that your heart connected with them, you know, like a real tranquil relationship, a real transparent relationship, a real beautiful relationship, right? If someone like that done this sort of treatment towards you, yes, you should be in a place of hurt. But when it's coming from them, you need to detach emotionally from it. You need to detach emotionally from it. And from the detachment, focus on your healing. You know, it's only going to be you that heals yourself and God and the universe and stuff like that. And prayer and meditation and things like that. But you got to just focus on healing yourself. Right? Detach from, don't be upset that they, you know, gaslit you or manipulated you or, you know, financially abused you or gave you silent treatment, whatever. You see what I mean? Don't let that phase you. You can't let that phase you because it's expected from the parasite, right? God allowed you to see these types of behaviors and go through these types of behaviors, and the universe let you see and go through these types of behaviors so that you can look at them with a different pair of eyes, right? Or an eye, you know, you got a sense of what they were, right? For those that may have problems seeing, you got a sense of what this person was from what they've done to you, you know? You got a sense of what these people are from what they've done to you. And that's what it's all about. They revealed themselves, you know? And you not wanting them back and building on that, aligning simultaneously with your healing journey. The more and more you heal, the more and more you won't want them back. The more and more you heal, the more and more you won't want them back. And you'll go, you know, you'll go through your healing journey, you'll ascend, you'll start achieving things, you'll reach indifference, you know, and at the same time, you won't want them back, you won't want them back more, you won't want them back more, you'll be disgusted by them, you know, and life will improve for you. Then you'll see how life, you needed to cut loose of this person, and literally it will grow more and more. So this place that you're at now of not wanting them back is a beautiful place to be. You're in a good space, you know, by no longer desiring them, right? You're in a good space, but it's gonna get more intensified, you know. It's gonna go simultaneously with your healing journey, right? Side by side, right? Imagine side by side. The more and more you heal, the more and more you ascend, the more and more you evolve, the more and more life opens up for brighter days, is the more and more you'll be disgusted by this narcissist that is involved in your life. And you'll be sickened by them. And then you'll get to that point eventually, you know, some quicker than others, but you can start seeing it from the very beginning, right? You can actually start seeing it from the very beginning, how the separation of you and them has actually put you in a better place. You can see it very early on if you let your mind do it, you know, and you won't miss them. You won't feel anything, right? For those of you that may be struggling, you can actually get your mind to see it very quickly, right? There's certain things that follow a narcissistic relationship, right? Things happen in your life, right? The daily things, different things happen in your life daily, right? And you'll realize that these things wouldn't have happened in your life had this narcissist been in it, you know? And that's your closure, you know? That's your closure from the whole experience, because that's your blessing as well. You know, these things wouldn't have come your way life wouldn't have opened up for you for brighter days had this person been involved in your life, you know? So I always suggest, you know, you might have had plans together with this narcissist involved in your life. You know, if you're in that place, if you no longer desire them back, you know, I would always suggest getting a pen and paper. And even if you do, you know, 1 list, 2 lists, 3 lists, 4 lists, and you keep changing it, you know, it's just something to focus on. Start drawing up a year plan or a 2-year plan or a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan, you know, whatever's good for you, right? Thinking about finances, thinking about something to aim for, thinking about things you want to do, you know, think of a plan. Because what I'm saying is through the healing journey, if you start trying to at least aim, you know, plans, you know, you can't always stick to plans. Things happen, you know, you get unexpected costs and unexpected things that happen. The car breaks down or something like this. But relatively, if you can try and stick to a plan over a period of time while you're going through the healing journey, then eventually you're going to hit that place where what you planned on, you know, happens, you know, whatever it is. It could be small plans, big plans, whatever, right? But you should have goals and aims, right? And, you know, you might draw up a plan and then cross out that plan, you know? You might cross out that plan and make another plan, you know? Or you might take some bits from that plan, add it to this plan, you know? And just have a goal and motive in mind, you know? Have a goal and ambition in mind that you're aiming for. And through your healing journey, when you're recovering from this dusty, weirdo, narcissistic relationship, basically you'll manifest and achieve something that would have never happened had they been in your life, you know? So it's a good thing to do. So I always recommend to do that, you know? Always recommend to do a plan as early as possible, you know? Forget about the future that you planned with them. Forget about the future faking. All of that. Make your own plan. Make your own future and walk towards your destiny. So anyway, to enhance your experience and have access to a gallery of exclusive unseen videos and a chance to reach out to me personally for video requests or ideas you have, there's a 3-day free trial that can easily be cancelled at any time by going to your Zion account page. All video requests are processed and uploaded within 24 hours from when request was submitted. A link to the Zion membership website will appear on your screen now. Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel. Links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. If you'd like to know more about when the narcissist resorts to silent treatment, you have won the war, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.